You've been reaching for those familiar snacks in your pantry every single day thinking you're supporting your health. But what if I told you those very nuts could be quietly sabotaging your blood sugar, inflaming your joints, clouding your memory, and even jeopardizing your heart's resilience? Imagine waking up with stiffer knees, battling unexpected sugar spikes after a simple snack, struggling to remember a grandchild's name, or facing restless nights when all you wanted was a peaceful sleep. These aren't distant possibilities. They're the hidden risks many seniors unknowingly face when they grab the wrong handful. I'm Dr. Henry Carter, and for over 30 years, I've sat across from thousands of men and women, over 60 people just like you, who thought they were making healthy choices only to discover those choices had been working against them. I've guided retirees back to vitality, helped grandparents restore their mental clarity, and supported couples in reclaiming their intimate confidence. I understand the hopes and frustrations of aging bodies. I've watched patients transform by swapping one small habit, and I've seen others struggle when they didn't realize how subtle nutritional pitfalls can accumulate over time. Today, I'll cut through the confusion and give you a clear science-backed roadmap. First, I'll introduce you to 4 powerhouse nuts that act like natural medicine for your thyroid, bones, brain, and circulation. You'll learn precise daily rituals down to exact dosages and storage tips that make these superfoods easy to integrate into your routine. Then we'll flip the script and expose 4 deceptively marketed nuts that can stoke inflammation, spike your blood sugar, interfere with medications, and even trigger weight fluctuations you didn't ask for. Finally, I'll reveal the single worst offender, the nut that ranks as the most dangerous choice for seniors' health. This isn't about trendy superfoods or fancy supplements. It's about simple, affordable pantry staples you can control yourself. By the end of this presentation, you'll have a crystal clear action plan: which nuts to embrace, which to eliminate, and how to make each bite serve your health goals rather than derail them. You'll walk away feeling empowered to open your kitchen cabinet with confidence, knowing exactly what to choose for: sharper memory, steadier blood pressure, stronger bones, and more balanced blood sugar. So let's begin. In just a few minutes, you'll discover how these small swaps can lead to profound changes. Because at your age, it's the consistent daily choices that truly determine whether you wake up feeling vibrant or wake up worrying about symptoms you could have prevented. Ready to transform your snack routine and take back control of your health? Let's dive in. Power pair number 1, thyroid and bone boosters meet. Jack, a retired firefighter in his late 60s whose days once brimmed with energy and purpose. Lately, however, he felt like his spark had gone missing. Mornings left him drained instead of refreshed. His mind felt foggy, and even simple tasks wore him out. Despite trying every supplement on the market, nothing stuck until he discovered a single Brazil nut. You see, Brazil nuts are nature's richest source of selenium, a trace mineral often overlooked but critical for awakening a sluggish thyroid. Selenium acts as a catalyst, converting inactive thyroid hormones into their active form. When our thyroid slows with age, metabolism falters, energy dips, and mental clarity takes a hit. By introducing just 1 Brazil nut a day, Jack supplied his body with over 130% of the daily selenium he needed in its most bioavailable organic form. Within 3 weeks, the change was undeniable. His energy surged, the afternoon brain fog dissipated, and even his mood brightened. No pills, no complicated plans, just 1 carefully chosen nut. But selenium's benefits don't stop at the thyroid. This powerful mineral also supports healthy testosterone levels in both men and women, reinforcing muscle strength, libido, and overall vitality. Selenium's antioxidant properties protect nerve insulation, the myelin sheath helping maintain sharp reflexes, steady coordination, and clear communication between brain and body. For seniors whose nerve function can decline over time, preserving that sheath is as vital as keeping bones strong. Speaking of bones, let's shift to another quiet powerhouse, the humble almond. Picture my own father, who every morning sat by the window sipping warm tea and nibbling on a small bowl of raw almonds. He believed this modest ritual kept him sharp and steady. And now, with decades of research behind us, we understand why. Almonds deliver not only calcium, but also magnesium, the dynamic duo that ensures calcium is directed into bone tissue rather than depositing in arteries. 1/4 cup of almonds provides nearly 100 milligrams of calcium, alongside over 70 milligrams of magnesium, creating a rare synergy in a single food. Beyond bone density, almonds guard the brain through potent antioxidants housed in their thin brown skins. Flavonoids and vitamin E team up to neutralize oxidative stress that damages neurons, slowing age-related cognitive decline. Studies show consistent almond consumption can improve processing speed and memory retention, offering seniors a buffer against the early stages of dementia and brain fog. Almonds also boost digestive health, a facet seldom discussed but crucial for overall well-being. Their fiber content of roughly 3.5 grams per serving keeps digestion regular, alleviating constipation that plagues nearly half of older adults. Regularity doesn't just ease discomfort, it supports nutrient absorption, mood stability, and energy levels, creating a foundation for every other aspect of health. Integrating these two superfoods is remarkably simple. Jack's Brazil nut ritual and my father's almond habit illustrate that consistency trumps complexity. Store Brazil nuts in their shells inside the refrigerator to preserve freshness and mindfully chew each nut to release its full nutritional potential. Likewise, choose raw or dry roasted unsalted almonds, keeping them shelled for ease of use and chewing them fully to optimize digestion and absorption. Together, this power pair works in concert: selenium-driven thyroid activation and testosterone support from Brazil nuts, paired with calcium-magnesium synergy for bone strength and antioxidant protection for the brain from almonds. It's a daily 1-2 punch that tackles fatigue, fogginess, weakened bones, and digestive sluggishness, all issues that can hold seniors back from living life to the fullest. As you imagine incorporating these foods, think of Jack reclaiming his vigor and my father maintaining his sharpness. These are more than anecdotes. They're proof that small, intentional choices can create sweeping changes in energy strength and mental clarity. In the next section, we'll explore another powerhouse duo that protects your mind and circulatory system. So stay tuned to discover how these simple pantry staples can become your most effective allies in aging gracefully. Power pair number 2, brain and circulation champions. Harold was a retired music teacher in his early 70s who found himself struggling to remember the simplest melodies and even the names of his former students. Watching his hands tremble over the piano keys, he feared that the joy of music might slip away for good. Across town, Margaret, a sprightly 68-year-old artist, noticed her vision blurring and her blood pressure creeping upward despite a healthy lifestyle. Neither of them realized that the answer to their woes could be hiding in the same humble nuts they'd previously overlooked. Let's start with walnuts, nature's brain food. Their brain-like shape is no coincidence. Walnuts are packed with alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid, crucial for constructing and maintaining the membranes of your brain cells. As we age, these membranes become less flexible, slowing communication between neurons and leading to memory lapses, diminished focus, and cognitive fatigue. By adding just 7 to 9 walnut halves into your evening routine, you flood your system with ALA that crosses the blood-brain barrier, helping neurons fire efficiently and supporting synaptic plasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections. But the benefits don't end there. Walnuts are also rich in polyphenols, powerful antioxidants that target inflammation deep within neural tissue. Chronic inflammation is a major driver of Alzheimer's and other dementias, silently eroding memory and cognition over years. In one study, seniors who consumed 1.5 ounces of walnuts daily for 8 weeks demonstrated measurable improvements in processing speed and mental flexibility, the very skills that make conversations lively and keep you engaged in daily activities. Plus, walnuts contain natural melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep. Many older adults experience restless nights, waking up groggy and unrefreshed. A small, mindful handful of walnuts before bed can help normalize melatonin levels, leading to deeper, more restorative sleep, allowing both body and mind to heal overnight. Now let's turn to pistachios, the unsung heroes of heart health and circulation. Picture Margaret shelling pistachios in her sunlit studio. Each shell popped open a small intentional pause to savor flavor and slow down her pace. That pause is more than mindfulness. It's part of what makes pistachios special. They're one of the richest nut sources of potassium, around 285 milligrams per ounce, critical for counteracting sodium's effects, relaxing blood vessel walls, and maintaining healthy blood pressure. For seniors grappling with arterial stiffness and salt sensitivity, this natural potassium boost offers significant relief, helping keep blood flowing smoothly. Pistachios' benefits extend to eye health as well. They're loaded with lutein and zeaxanthin carotenoids that accumulate in the retina and filter harmful blue light. Over time, these compounds help protect against age-related macular degeneration, preserving the vibrant colors of your world and ensuring you can continue to read fine print, admire a painting, or recognize loved ones' faces with clarity. Finally, pistachios support balanced blood sugar through their fiber content, about 3 grams per ounce, and naturally low glycemic index. For Margaret, swapping her afternoon cookie for a small handful of pistachios meant fewer post-snack blood sugar spikes, more even energy throughout the day, and less strain on her body's insulin response. Integrating walnuts and pistachios is straightforward. Keep walnuts refrigerated to preserve their delicate oils, and aim for 7 to 9 halves each evening, perhaps sprinkled over Greek yogurt or enjoyed on their own as part of a wind-down ritual. Store pistachios in shell to encourage that mindful shelling process, and aim for roughly 1 ounce, around 40 to 50 pistachios daily. The act of shelling not only makes you eat more slowly, but also serves as a built-in portion control and a tactile reminder to savor each bite. Together, this power pair fortifies both your mind and your circulation. Walnuts deliver the essential building blocks and protection your brain craves, while pistachios offer a trifecta of blood pressure, regulation, eye protection, and glycemic control. Harold's improved memory recall and Margaret's stabilized blood pressure and clearer vision are testaments to what can happen when you give your body these targeted nutrients. Next, we'll pause for a quick engagement prompt, then dive into the 4 nuts you should avoid so you can protect yourself from hidden pitfalls just as effectively as you embrace these powerful foods. I've shared 2 powerhouse pairs that can reignite your energy, sharpen your mind, and steady your circulation. But now I want to hear from you. If you're ready to swap out an old snack habit for one of these nutrient-rich allies, type 1 in the comments. If you're still skeptical, type 0 and tell me what's holding you back. Your experience could guide someone else to make a healthier choice today. Let's turn this video into a conversation, because together we learn faster and support each other toward better health. Risk duo number 1, inflammation and sugar traps. George was a proud 72-year-old Vietnam veteran who took pride in his active lifestyle. Yet over the past year, he noticed persistent joint aches, stubborn fatigue, and creeping blood pressure readings that baffled both him and his doctor. Meanwhile, Linda at 70 found herself battling unexpected energy crashes and frustrating sugar spikes after what she thought were healthy snacks. Neither of them suspected their daily go-to nuts could be behind these unwelcome changes until we dug deeper into their pantries. Let's begin with peanuts. Despite their heart-healthy reputation, peanuts aren't true nuts at all, but legumes grown underground, making them highly prone to invisible molds. One such toxin, aflatoxin, can accumulate over time, quietly straining the liver, undermining the immune system, and even elevating cancer risk effects magnified in seniors whose detox pathways naturally slow with age. On top of that, peanuts contain a high proportion of omega-6 fatty acids. In moderation, omega-6 is fine, but in excess relative to omega-3 fuels chronic, low-grade inflammation. This smoldering inflammation exacerbates joint pain, contributes to arterial stiffness, and can cloud cognitive function over the long term. Then there's sodium. Most commercial peanuts are roasted and salted, often containing far more added sodium than you'd expect. For the 60-plus population, of whom more than half already manage hypertension, this extra sodium is like pouring gasoline on a fire, hiking blood pressure and increasing cardiovascular strain. Even natural peanut butters can harbor hidden sugars, hydrogenated oils, and stabilizers that further tip the balance toward inflammation and metabolic stress. Now consider cashews. With their creamy texture and mild taste, cashews often masquerade as a healthy reward, but they carry their own set of stealth risks. First, their carbohydrate content, around 9 grams per ounce, can trigger sharper post-snack glucose surges than most nuts, burdening insulin regulation and leading to the very energy crashes Linda experienced. As blood sugar roller coasters become more frequent, seniors face an elevated risk of transitioning from prediabetes to full-blown type 2 diabetes. Cashews also contain high levels of oxalates, naturally occurring compounds that bind to calcium in the gut. While that may sound innocuous, oxalate calcium complexes can crystallize and lead to kidney stones, a painful condition that escalates in frequency and severity with age. For a senior who already contends with declining kidney function, this hidden hazard can mean trips to the ER and lengthy recovery. Moreover, cashew kernels are curved and smooth, a combination that makes them surprisingly easy to inhale by accident, posing a dangerous choking risk for older adults who may already have compromised swallowing reflexes. Finally, most of us assume that raw cashews come straight from the tree, but in reality, raw cashews are heavily steamed and processed to neutralize urushiol, the same irritant in poison ivy. That heat treatment can degrade delicate nutrients, leaving you with little more than empty calories and a false sense of healthfulness. When you pair these two, peanuts that stoke inflammation and cashews that spike sugars and threaten kidney health, you have a potent recipe for sluggish joints, erratic energy, and unforeseen medical complications. For George, simply swapping his afternoon peanut snack revealed how much his body had been crying out for relief. The joint stiffness that dogged him each morning gradually softened. Linda's persistent glucose swings also stabilized, helping her regain the steady energy she once enjoyed. As you reflect on your own snack habits, consider how easily these seemingly harmless choices might be undermining your well-being. In the next section, we'll explore two more innocuous-looking nuts, macadamias and pine nuts, that carry their own stealth hazards, from silent weight gain to disruptive taste distortions in medication interactions. Understanding these hidden pitfalls will empower you to safeguard your health and avoid setbacks as you age. Risk duo number 2, silent weight and medication. Hazards Carl was a disciplined retired engineer in his late 60s. He watched his calories, walked every morning, and prided himself on balanced meals. But over the past few months, he noticed the scale creeping up layer by layer with no obvious culprit. His energy dipped after meals and his blood pressure inched higher despite no major diet changes. One evening, he casually mentioned his nightly ritual. "I treat myself to a handful of macadamia nuts before bed, just a little reward for the day's work." What Carl didn't realize was that this seemingly harmless indulgence was the perfect recipe for silent weight gain. Macadamia nuts pack an astonishing 200 calories and 22 grams of fat into each 1-ounce serving calories, and fat that don't register as filling yet accumulate day after day. For seniors whose metabolism naturally slows and who may be less active than in younger years, those extra calories stack up quickly, contributing to gradual but persistent weight gain. Even more concerning, macadamias are high in saturated fats, about 3 grams per ounce, the type known to elevate LDL cholesterol and strain an aging heart. Over time, that can undo all the progress seniors make through careful diet and exercise, subtly increasing the risk of coronary issues. Beyond weight and cholesterol, macadamia's high-fat content can trigger gallbladder discomfort for those unknowingly carrying gallstones, another common issue in later life. A single fatty handful can provoke painful attacks that require emergency care or even surgery. And if that weren't enough, the dense, hard texture of macadamias poses its own hazard. Cracked dental work. For seniors with crowns, bridges, or sensitive teeth, biting into these buttery nuggets can lead to costly and painful dental emergencies, adding another layer of risk to what feels like a simple snack. Now let's turn to pine nuts. Small, tender kernels, often celebrated in gourmet recipes, but hiding a host of problems for seniors. Ruth, a meticulous 74-year-old who tracked her medications and maintained a careful diet, came to me complaining of a persistent, metallic, bitter taste, so severe that even water felt repulsive. She confessed that she had recently fallen in love with homemade pesto using generous handfuls of pine nuts. That's when I recognized pine mouth syndrome, a taste distortion that can linger for days or weeks after eating certain pine varieties. While not dangerous by itself, the consequence can be serious. Seniors may unconsciously eat and drink less to avoid the unpleasant sensation, risking dehydration, nutrient deficiencies, and unintentional weight loss conditions that lead to frailty and weakened immunity. Moreover, pine nuts contain compounds that interfere with the liver enzymes responsible for metabolizing many common medications, blood thinners, cholesterol-lowering drugs, and certain antidepressants among them. That interaction can reduce medication effectiveness or produce unexpected side effects, complicating treatment plans for seniors already managing multiple prescriptions. Because these interactions are still poorly understood, clinicians seldom warn patients, leaving many unaware that a seemingly healthy nut could undermine their carefully calibrated drug regimens. Pine nuts also oxidize quickly due to their high polyunsaturated fat content, especially when stored improperly or kept at room temperature for too long. Once oxidized, these oils promote inflammation rather than reduce it, adding fuel to joint pain, arthritis flare-ups, and metabolic stress. Finally, the small size and smooth shape of pine nuts make them easy to inhale inadvertently, posing a choking risk for anyone with diminished swallowing reflexes, a common change in older adults. When you combine macadamia's silent calorie bombardment and pharmaceutical disruptions from pine nuts, you create a stealth minefield: weight gain, cardiovascular strain, dental dangers, medication, mishaps, taste disturbances, dehydration, inflammation, and choking hazards. Carl's unexplained weight creep and Ruth's unintentional appetite loss weren't isolated incidents. They were predictable outcomes of two nuts that market themselves as gourmet, but are fraught with hidden risks for seniors. Understanding these pitfalls empowers you to make safer choices. By recognizing how macadamias and pine nuts can undermine your health goals, whether that's maintaining a healthy weight, protecting your heart, ensuring medication efficacy, or simply enjoying a full appetite, you take control of the narrative. In our final section, we'll tie everything together, recap the 4 nuts to embrace and the 4 to avoid, and share the one worst offender you absolutely must know about. Conclusion. As we draw this journey to a close, remember that aging itself is not what holds us back. It's the small, repeated choices we make every day that determine whether we thrive or simply get by. Each handful of nuts you choose, each moment you pause to consider what you're eating, weaves into the larger story of your health. Across my 30 years of practice, I've seen patients in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, rewrite their futures by embracing or rejecting just a single daily habit. Let's revisit the 8 nuts we explored. First, the 4 you should welcome into your life. Brazil nuts, a simple ritual of 1 nut per day, supplies over 130% of your selenium, needs igniting thyroid function, boosting testosterone, and protecting nerve sheaths to keep you moving and thinking with clarity. Almonds, 15 to 20 raw or dry roasted almonds, daily deliver a rare calcium-magnesium synergy for stronger bones, potent antioxidants for brain health, and fiber for smooth digestion. Walnuts, 7 to 9 walnut halves each evening, flood your brain with plant-based omega-3s, polyphenols, to combat inflammation, and melatonin to restore restful sleep so you wake up refreshed and ready. Pistachios. An ounce of in-shell pistachios provides a surge of potassium to stabilize blood pressure, carotenoids to protect your vision, and fiber to balance blood sugar, all wrapped in a mindful shelling ritual. Now, the 4 you should thoughtfully remove from your routine: peanuts, hidden aflatoxins, omega-6 overload, and excessive sodium can stoke inflammation, strain your liver, and raise your blood pressure, vastly undercutting the heart-healthy myth. Cashews, at 9 grams of carbs per ounce, cashews can trigger blood sugar spikes, while their high oxalate content raises your risk of kidney stones, and their smooth shape poses a choking hazard. Macadamia nuts. Those luxurious buttery morsels pack nearly 200 calories and 22 grams of fat per ounce, fueling silent weight gain, raising LDL cholesterol, and even provoking gallbladder or dental emergencies. Pine nuts, tiny though they are, pine nuts can trigger pine mouth taste distortions that sap appetite, oxidize into inflammatory oils, interfere with medication metabolism, and pose aspiration risks. And before we end the single worst offender, you need to be aware of peanuts. Their combination of aflatoxin exposure, omega-6 imbalance, and hidden sodium makes them the most insidious snack for seniors. If you choose only one swap today, let it be replacing peanuts with a safer, nourishing alternative. None of this requires you to be perfect. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Instead, commit to one small change first. Maybe it's starting tomorrow morning with a single Brazil nut, or swapping your late afternoon peanut butter snack for raw almonds. Perhaps you'll make a nightly ritual of walnuts on your bedside table. Whatever you choose, honor that decision. Track it like a ritual, place a bowl of fresh pistachios on the counter, or set a reminder on your phone. Celebrate each day you follow through. Picture yourself 2 weeks from now waking with more vitality, fewer aches, steadier blood sugar readings, and clearer thoughts. Envision the confidence of knowing you're actively protecting your bones, your heart, and your memory with every bite. See yourself sharing laughter around the table, recalling names effortlessly, stepping out for a brisk walk without joint stiffness, and sleeping through the night without interruption. This is not hype, it's biology in action. Your body remains remarkably responsive even after 60. When you give it the precise nutrients it craves, no more, no less, it repays you with resilience, clarity, and energy. You're not too old to change. You're never too late to begin. So here's your next step. Choose one nut swap and make it your ritual starting tomorrow. Tell a friend or family member about your plan. They can help hold you accountable and perhaps join you on this journey. Then come back and share your experience. Your success might inspire someone else to take that first step. If you found this guide valuable, subscribe and ring the notification bell for weekly science-backed health insights tailored specifically for seniors. Together, we'll continue exploring simple evidence-based strategies to help you thrive, mind, body, and spirit, one bite at a time. I'm Dr. Henry Carter, and I believe the best chapters of your life are still ahead. Here's to your health, your vitality, and every empowered choice you make along the way.